It's 10 years since the Taliban left Kabul, but this is still a city scarred by war. There have been a lot of changes. There is a lot of construction, there is development underway. It's a very mixed city, and to try and give you an idea, we're going to take you on a Times mini tour to see what's changing. It really is perhaps one of the most iconic reminders of what happened to this city during the 90s, when the Prime Minister and his various cabinet ministers fought each other for control of the city. They shelled entire neighbourhoods, and parts of Afghanistan, parts of Kabul particularly, have never really recovered, although clearly there is progress. We're driving on a surfaced road. We're about to go underneath streetlights which actually work. And I've got with me, I wouldn't normally do this, but I've got with me the Beetle mechanic, because we're going to be driving quite a lot today. Because this is the man who for the last 45 years has been fixing Beetles. Ahmed Zia Fakhri, he's going to come with us just in case you have any problems with the car.
مردم کلگی از جنگ خسته است. هر وقتی که باشه جنگ خوب چیز نیست.
He says everybody's tired of fighting. War's not a good thing. I think everybody would agree with him on that. Everybody's tired of war. Everybody in Afghanistan is tired of war.
یک تعداد محدود است که جنگ میکنه دیگه. کل مردم افغانستان خود جنگ نمیکنه.
We're saying it's not Afghan people who are making the war. It's people from outside Afghanistan. مردم از کجا جنگ میکنه؟
مردم از خارجی است.
Foreigners. Foreigners are making the war. We're at the ICRC Ortho Centre in Kabul. It's one of the most uplifting places in Afghanistan, and we're here to meet their new wheelchair basketball team.
Fighting started, I was playing with my brothers and in front of our home, and then a rocket just exploded near, and then a shrapnel was hitting the spinal cord.
So you've never had use of your legs since?
No.
It's been 10 years, as you know, since the Taliban left Kabul.
Yeah.
How has it changed for you?
Concerning the freedom of the people, the freedom of young people, sports, education, but still there is lots of problems.
Yeah, sometimes it's not basketball, it's buskashi, so we tell them to be very careful. They crash into each other very easily. But it's very difficult to stop the enthusiasm. Myself, I've been 21 years in Afghanistan.
Okay, and have you always been at the Ortho Centre?
Yeah, I've been always working for the ICRC in this particular program for disabled people. Yeah.
How would you say, what's the mood in the city?
The big hope that everybody had 10 years ago had gone. Security is not good. That's the first thing the Afghan ask for is security, and there is no security. We are not sure. There are areas around Kabul, very close to Kabul, where ourselves, the Red Cross, cannot go because we don't consider the place safe anymore. So that's very bad.
Okay. But at least you've got this team. At least this is a glimmer of happiness.
Absolutely.
We've just been stopped by the police, so this will be interesting. Salam alaikum. Khabastan, khabas.
بخیر. قراره سیا کی است که عکاسی میکنه چی رقم است؟
از روزنامه Times. So this is not that unusual. They want to see our ID. Hopefully, I have one from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. میتونم که برم؟ اجازه است؟ تشکر. We're just coming past the Serena Hotel, Kabul's only real five-star hotel, and also the scene of a couple of fairly serious attacks. A lot of the international people who come here basically stay there and never really leave unless they're in a B6 armoured car. One advantage of this time's mini tour is you're probably going to see more of the city than most soldiers ever do. We're just coming into Wazir Akbar, which is the diplomatic neighbourhood. It's basically where the British embassy is, the American embassy is, it's where NATO's headquarters are, and also where the presidential palace is. And you can see that we're also coming into a bit of a traffic jam. Kabul hasn't got a green zone, but this is as close to a green zone as it gets, and you'll notice there's far more sniper screens, barbed wire and blast walls, and that's the reason why for ordinary people it's a much harder part of the city to pass through. This is Shukriya Baraksai, Afghan MP, leader of the Defence Committee in the Parliament.
Nobody's asking, what the hell, where is the voice of women? It's male-dominated society. 10 years' time was not enough to change the belief, the perspective, the mentality of the community. At least right now, 7 million kids are going to the school, and maybe they will learn how to respect their sister.
On our way to the final stop on this mini tour of Kabul. It's one of my favourite places in the city. It's one of the very few quiet and peaceful places in the city, and it's also one of the few places that will remind you of the huge human cost and the huge human sacrifice that has been made here in Afghanistan. This graveyard is all that really remains of the old British cantonment, built more or less on this site about 160 years ago, and then rebuilt over the sort of 20 or 40 years after that. It's not just soldiers remembered here though. A lot of the bodies belong to aid workers, explorers, hippies, all sorts of people who came here to Afghanistan over the last century. It commemorates here all that's left of the British war dead killed in the 1840s in the first 3 Anglo-Afghan wars. And then on this wall behind it are the memorials to the soldiers killed in the last 10 years of conflict. Starts here in 2006. And it runs up here till June 2011, and it may well yet be updated. And even though it's 10 years since NATO troops first came to Afghanistan and 10 years since the Taliban fell, and even though most of the troop contributing nations have said when they plan to leave, no one can really tell how many more names yet are going to be added to this wall.